Yeah, back once again, Trey. This is not a reaction request. I'm just gonna wrap this album up. You know what I mean? 5 mics though. We can get that out the way early. 5 mics, flawless. Nothing.
Try to appreciate.
Don't skip nothing on here.
Open up the window.
Don't skip nothing.
Flow through.
That's my advice.
Open-minded with a 24/7, so redefine it. You got enough army to bear arms with the timing. Hugging on the clock like you John Moran out the lining. And Vince Guaraldi climbing. I'm just here for realignment. The straight and narrow path that was parallel to colliding. My pennies on the gas, but if I'm jumping out the ride, then I'm self-taught immune to the creases that they was hiding. I don't fall under confinement at all. And all it take of us is everything they take from us. Told us not to write down the recipes when they apron us. Leading us to cook without measuring was the gate for us. Keep that. And only at the repast can they plate with us. Mine was in a styrofoam I could box up to go with. Doubled it like how they come with two to dump a foe in. Never have, never will, but I respect the way they code it while still trying to talk about they cherry fago motion. Ride with a motive, so when it's time to release, you ain't dying to open. Open-minded like the stores I described in the open. The closing remarks that left you decided between a trip to Mecca or a trip to Bethel in line with the heathens. And if it's like that, the shit is like that. I got jazz vinyl holder than civil rights acts. Picture and light pack. The good fight deep in the jungle with pistols and fight back. I show up late to a show, they like, ayo, it's Spike at. The closest one without a bloodline, all off of how it does mine. Nightmares over Jakes when Snoop was calling them one time, but turned it up religiously. Breaking down the accents and all of the distance in between. Alone in this fight for power, we call over an hour. Fight the powers that be like MTV, put bands around us. Yellow tape it like off-white in this fight. Appreciation's like good work. It might have a pinch of flour.
It might.
In the 25th hour,
like
they told us what the key is now. Money, power, respect. Trying to turn the key around. Respect, power, and money based on what it adjusts like. Serving bass out the back. The building lean like an upright. Parents cool as Ron Carter. Jumping off the stoop and had you cons playing Sean Carter. Lucky left the arm barter. The block mayor held mother sister tight and said, I hope you win the wars that you ain't tell no one you fighting. Reasons beyond measure, we be measured in abundance. Effortless usually takes all of the effort you could come with. And singing to the choir, been the move, no assumptions. The only thing that sounds better muted is the trumpet. And I'm left to stick around and describe it and give it logic. Front row view of a project throughout the projects. Connected through the brownstones and English to the houses. And drop top tutors where they tutor you around it over jazz and the projects. You pull up a window, 5-piece harmonies, queuing up a tempo. Jazz and the projects. You pull up a window. You pull up a window. Over jazz and the projects, you pull up a window. 5-piece harmonies, queuing up a tempo. Jazz and the projects, you pull up a window. You pull up a window. Over jazz and the projects. Yeah. It's like jazz and the projects, you know. It's right there, but it may get appreciated, it may not. It's like if you open the window one day and you just heard 5-piece band. The OGs that all look like the mayor, they all look like mother sister. You might walk right by that, you might acknowledge it, no. But it explains and encompasses everything around you in a piece. Bring beauty to it. It's like how I said in the beginning, I said, open-minded with a 24/7s to redefine it. So with that, you know, I'm talking about the corner stores, right? Like the bodegas, 24/7s, you know what I mean? The 24/7s are redefined it. You open-minded, 24/7s are redefined that. You think you open-minded. A bodega on the corner that never closed, that's the epitome of 24/7, open-minded. I followed that up, I said, you got enough army to bear arms with the timing. It's like if you outside and you competing with the fact that you're dealing with 24 hours, 7 days a week, you got enough army around you to bear arms, army, bear arms, and with the timing, with the fact that it's 24 hours, 7 days a week, the fact that it never closed, you feel like you might have enough to compete with that and man up for that. So I take the army, bear arms, your army and your bare arms with the time, and I take that, hug it on the clock like you John Moran out the line, and with that it's like the bare arms, hugging, you get a bear hug, hugging on that clock, that 24-hour clock, like John Moran.
That's a quadruple?
Line and John Moran played for the Grizzlies, bare arms hugging. Out the line, and you know John Moran had a situation where he was allegedly going in the line and then backing out. Allegedly.
It's an octotandra.
Everything that was going on with all that. So I'm using that as the metaphor. And I'm saying in Vince Guaraldi climate, Vince Guaraldi wrote the greatest Christmas song ever. Charlie Brown Christmas joint that epitomizes the winter and the climate and the cold outside. So all this is happening with the hugging, the bare arms, the Grizzlies, John Morant, 24/7, the corner store bodegas, being open-minded in the middle of all this Vince Guaraldi climate, which means in the winter. So in 4 bars, you got, XYZ over that.
4 bars, yo.
On top of that, after that, I'm like, I'm just here for realignment. Straight and narrow path that was parallel to colliding. Straight and narrow, parallel to colliding. Parallel, 2 lines side by side. Parallel to colliding. You straight and narrow, but you could have collided like that. My pennies on the gas, I'm wearing penny ones all day, always, like it's 95. My pennies on the gas when I'm jumping out the ride, and I'm self-taught immune to the creases that they was hiding. Like if I gotta jump out the ride quick, I'm still not getting a crease in my pennies because I was raised the way where I know how to freak them and then do that. I know how to keep it all together, and that's a double because I'm saying I know how to keep it together regardless of any situation or circumstance or condition. So I'm immune to the creases that they was hiding. Heads be getting creases in they joints and they gotta hide them. I'm immune to that. I don't fold under confinement, at all. And all it take of us is everything they take from us. They told us not to write down the recipes when they apron us. I'm talking about slavery days, the house versus the field. They told us not to write down the recipes. They gave us the scraps. So what we did was make what we made out of it. Leading us to cook without measuring was the gate for us. Keep that. Gatekeeping the recipes of what we do. As people of color, as my folk, black folk. Without measuring was the gate for us. Keep that. And only at the repast can they plate with us. Only at the repast. Only when it's too late can they get a plate. Only at the repast can they understand what we made out of what they didn't want us to have. Mine was in a styrofoam I could box up to go with. Doubled it like how they come with 2 to dump a 4 in. So I'm talking about
lean, all that.
To go plate at the repast in a styrofoam box, because I want to say that for later. I doubled it, I got 2 of them. I doubled it like how they come with 2 to dump a 4 in. Double cup, 2 cups, dump 4 ounces in, with all that, all that culture down in Houston. And I'm saying doubled it like how they come with 2 to dump a 4 in. Never have, never will, but I respect the way they code it while still trying to talk them out they cherry fago motion.
Me too.
I'm saying I never did that and I never will. But at the same time, I respect that code. I respect that culture, what they built. But at the same time, on top of that, I'm still trying to talk them out of it because I've seen what that can do. And I don't know if that's worth it without any disrespect. I don't know if that's worth it. So I respect that code. But you give me the time of day, I'ma still try to talk you out of all that cherry fago motion. Ride with a motive. So when it's time, shit, at least you ain't dying to open. Open-minded like the stores I described in the open.
Right. I didn't catch all that in that 4 though. I didn't catch all that in that 4.
I don't feel the need to play the whole part of the entire movement. But if you just raise your family right, if I just live righteously, I'll be alright. My whole life is dedicated to change. It's ill, son. It's ill.
Again, 5 mic project. 5 mic project easily. Might be 5.5. The way he broke down just those first 4 to a damn octandra. It's like 8 entendres in one. The way he broke it down. He gave you the science at the end of that song. I appreciate that. I appreciate breaking down the science like that, Skyzoo. That's super fire. But again, do not skip a song on this project. It's my best advice. Press play, let it go. You won't be disappointed. 5 mics.